Taken 2 is a 2012 English-language French action thriller film directed by Olivier Megaton and starring Liam Neeson, Maggie Grace, Famke Janssen, Raid Serbzija, Leland Orser, John Grise, D.B. Sweeney, and Luke Grimes. For it follows retired CIA officer Brian Mills as he ends up with his family in Istanbul, where he is kidnapped, along with his ex-wife, by the father of one of the men he killed while saving his daughter 2 years earlier. It is the sequel to the 2008 film Taken and the second installment in the Taken trilogy. Released on October 3, 2012 in France by EuropaCorp and October 5, 2012 in the United States by 20th Century Fox, the film grossed over $376 million at the box office, making it the highest-grossing installment of the trilogy, but received negative reviews from critics. A third film, Taken 3, was released on January 9, 2015. Plot: at the funeral of his son Marco and associates in Tropoj, Albanian mafia head and freelance terrorist Murad Hakha vows to seek vengeance on his son's killer. Traveling to Paris with his men, he interrogates and tortures ex-French DGSE agent turned corrupt National Police officer Jean-Claude Petrel, whose business card was found at the scene of Marco's death, but finds no information. He then bribes a corrupt police official for Petrel's files and deduces that Petrel's old friend, Brian Mills, is responsible and is vacationing in Istanbul. Meanwhile, Brian has just finished his 3-day security job for a wealthy Saudi Arabian sheikh in Istanbul and is surprised by his ex-wife, Lenore, and daughter, Kim, turning up to visit him. While going out for lunch with Lenore the next day, Brian spots Murad's men following them. He tells Lenore to run and tries to outrun the Albanians but finally surrenders when they capture Lenore. Realizing that Kim is also a target, Brian calls her at the hotel and tells her to hide in the closet to escape the kidnappers. She narrowly avoids capture when the kidnappers are forced to flee after they shoot 2 security guards. Regaining consciousness, Brian finds himself zip-tied to a pipe over his head in an empty basement. He uses a miniature cell phone hidden in his sock to contact Kim and instructs her to alert the American embassy. Instead, she convinces him to let her help. Opening her father's equipment case, Kim takes a grenade and detonates it on a nearby rooftop. The resulting sound allows Brian to instruct her on triangulating his location. The terrorists bring in Lenore, make a small incision in her neck, and hang her upside down to bleed out. As soon as they leave, Brian frees himself and then Lenore. He next has Kim detonate 2 more grenades to find his location and tells her to look for some steam through a chimney to guide her to his location. Kim tosses a gun down the chimney, which Brian uses to kill the guards holding him captive. He rescues Kim but watches Lenore get recaptured. Stealing a taxi, Brian and Kim pursue the kidnappers' van, and an SUV driven by one of the kidnappers' henchmen arrives to distract them. A chase and shootout ensue, alerting Turkish police, and ends when Brian manages to lure the SUV into the path of an oncoming train, taking it out. Leaving Kim at the American embassy, Brian uses his memory to find Murad's hideout. He rescues Lenore and pursues the surviving terrorists to a bathhouse, where he kills them. Confronting Murad, Brian offers to let him walk if he agrees to return home and cease his desire for revenge. When Murad agrees, Brian drops his gun and begins to leave, but Murad immediately reneges and tries to kill Brian. To Murad's horror, however, the weapon is unloaded, as Brian had removed the bullet, and Brian, knowing that Murad will never let go of his vendetta against him, ultimately kills Murad by impaling him on a sharp towel hook. 3 weeks later, at a diner in Los Angeles, the Mills family has milkshakes to celebrate Kim passing her driving test. To Brian's surprise, they are joined by Kim's boyfriend, Jamie, and she jokingly tells her father not to shoot this one. Cast: Liam Neeson as Brian Mills, Maggie Grace as Kimberly Kim Mills, Brian, and Lenny's daughter, Famke Janssen as Lenore Lenny Mills St. John, Brian's former wife, Raid Serbzija as Murad Hakha, Marco's dad who want to kill Brian for his son's dead. Leland Orser as Sam Gilroy, Brian's old friend. John Grise as Mark Casey, Brian's old friend. D.B. Sweeney as Bernie Harris, Brian's old friend. Luke Grimes as Jamie Conrad, Kim's boyfriend. Olivier Rabourdin as Jean-Claude Petrel. Kevork Malikian as Inspector Dermis. Louinel as Kim's driving instructor. Production. Filming took place throughout early 2012. Neeson and Grace shot their scenes in January in Los Angeles. Citation needed. The Istanbul scenes were shot in November 2011. Some scenes were filmed during a week at the new film studios of the Site du Cinéma founded by Luc Besson in Saint-Denis in France. Citation needed. Taken 2 was screened on September 7, 2012 at the 38th Deauville American Film Festival. 11 It was theatrically released in more than 25 international markets, including North America, on October 5, 2012. 12 The film was released under the title of Takip, Istanbul in Turkey, Busca Implacable 2 in Brazil, Venganza, Konigsian Istanbul in Spain, Taken, La Vendetta in Italy and 2 in Russia. 13. Box office. Taken 2 grossed $139.9 million in North America and $236.3 million in other territories, which brings the film's worldwide total to $376.1 million against a budget of $45 million. 2. For its opening day in North America, the film topped the box office and earned $18.40 million, $1.5 million of which came from midnight showings. 12 In its opening weekend, Taken 2 grossed $49.5 million in North America, playing in 3,661 theaters, with a $13,525 per theater average and debuting in the number 1 spot 2 setting a new record for the highest ever October opening in North America of a film rated PG-13-15 and earned about $55 million in other markets. 16 During its second weekend at the North American box office, the film dropped 55.8% from its first weekend and grossed $21.9 million while holding onto the number 1 spot. 17 The film grossed a total of $3,385,094 in the Philippines by its fifth week. 18 The biggest foreign markets being UK, France, Australia, and South Korea, where the film grossed $37.8 million, $24.4 million, $20.2 million and $15.5 million. 19. Reception. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds an approval rating of 22% based on 174 reviews and an average rating of 4.21/10. The site's consensus reads, Taken 2 is largely bereft of the kinetic thrills and surprises that made the original a hit. 20. On Metacritic, the film has a score of 45 out of 100, based on 35 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. 21 audiences polled by the market research firm CinemaScore gave the film a B+ grade on average, lower than the A earned by its predecessor. 16. Roger Ebert, of the Chicago Sun-Times, gave the film 3 stars out of 4, writing, Taken 2 is slick, professional action. The cast is uniformly capable and dead serious, and if you're buying what co-writer and producer Luc Besson is selling, he's not shortchanging you. 22. Kenneth Turan of the Los Angeles Times wrote, at a beefy 6'4", Liam Neeson certainly looks physically imposing, but it was the notion of casting someone who can actually act in an action hero role that was the counterintuitive concept that made both films. Taken 2 is more a remake than a sequel so successful. 23. Bernard Bessergleek of The Hollywood Reporter reviewed the film after its screening at Deauville, concluding, there's a touch of vigilante advocacy in the movie that will displease some, with Liam Neeson as a more gentlemanly version of the Charles Bronson of the Death Wish series, but clearly there's still a market for such fantasies. Moviegoers who like Taken and want more of the same will get precisely that. 24. John Anderson of the Wall Street Journal wrote that there is a blind adherence to formula evident in most of Taken 2. As they might say in the advertising department, it's an adrenaline-fueled thrill ride. But it could have been much more. 25. Lisa Schwartzbaum of Entertainment Weekly gave the film a C grade, writing, "You know what happens in Taken 2, don't you? The same thing that happened 4 years ago in Taken, but different. But the same, and that Taken 2 is simultaneously silly, nasty, a lazy festival of stereotypes, and a cleverly made piece of merchandise, i.e., it's the devil we know." 26. Neil Genslinger of the New York Times wrote that much of Taken 2 seems like a non-stop car and foot chase, with Albanian after Albanian falling victim to Brian's remarkable aim and hand-fighting skills. Foreigners bad, Americans good, box office busy. 27. Keith Phipps of the AV Club gave the film a C grade, writing, "What begins as a family outing, with a hint of rekindled romance between the parents, devolves into kidnapping. The word taken gets thrown about liberally, torture, high-speed chases, and other misadventures probably not smiled upon by the Turkish Board of Tourism. None of it is particularly novel or exciting." 28. Scott Bowles of USA Today gave the film 2.5 stars out of 4, writing, "The first half of Taken 2 is a serviceable action flick, but the second half descends into cliches and at times, Taken 2 even steps from the shadows of the original with some terrifying imagery and an improved relationship between father and daughter. Alas, the movie can't help but descend into a pat part 2, bereft of much suspense or tension." 29. Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian gave the film 2 stars out of 5, concluding, "In the first movie, from the tail end of the Bush era, Liam was not shy about using Jack Bauerish torture techniques, wiring up evildoers to the mains and zapping them with righteous volts. None of that now. That was a 15, this is a 12A, a bit tamer, just as ridiculous, but the premise is looking pretty tired." 30. Joe Newmayer of the Daily News also gave the film 2 stars out of 5, writing, "Taken 2 has a plot that could have been written by a GPS program, and contains all the technical charm that conjures up. Yet somehow, Liam Neeson growls through this just acceptable action sequel with his dignity intact, his wallet bigger and his movie family oblivious to all that occurred in 2009's Taken." 31. Neil Smith of Total Film gave the film 2 stars out of 5, concluding, "Yet while it's fun to watch him take out the Eurotrash, we've seen him do it better." 32. Ann Hornaday of the Washington Post gave the film 1 star out of 4, writing, "You can't blame Liam Neeson, or the Taken producers, for trying to catch lightning in a bottle again. What you can blame them for is Taken 2, a sequel every bit as clumsy, ham-handed, outlandish, and laughable as the original was sleek, tough and efficient." 33. Accolades. Award category recipient, S, and nominee, S. Result. 39th Saturn Awards Best Action/Adventure Film Taken 2 nominated. 39th People's Choice Awards Favorite Dramatic Movie Actor Liam Neeson. Home Media. Taken 2 was released on DVD and Blu-ray on January 16, 2013. The Blu-ray version was released with both the theatrical and unrated extended editions. 34 As of February 5, 2015, the film has sold 2,823,133 DVDs and 1,053,690 Blu-ray discs, grossing $44,136,725 and $19,915,776 respectively, and totaling $64,052,501 in North America. William John Neeson, born June 7, 1952, is an actor from Northern Ireland. 3. He has received several accolades, including nominations for an Academy Award, a BAFTA Award, 3 Golden Globe Awards, 2 Tony Awards and 1 Volpe Cup. With a film career spanning more than 40 years, Neeson is regarded as one of Ireland's greatest film actors. 4 films in which he has appeared have grossed over $11.7 billion worldwide. 5. Neeson was appointed Officer of the Order of the British Empire, OBE, in 2000. 6. Neeson made his film debut in 1978 with Pilgrim's Progress, followed by early roles in Excalibur, 1981, The Bounty, 1984, The Mission, 1986, The Deadpool, 1988, and Husbands and Wives, 1992. He rose to prominence portraying Oskar Schindler in Steven Spielberg's Holocaust drama Schindler's List, 1993, for which he earned an Academy Award for Best Actor nomination. He played leading man roles in drama films such as Nell, 1994, Rob Roy, 1995, Michael Collins, 1996, and Les Miserables, 1998. He took blockbuster roles portraying Qui-Gon in Star Wars, Episode I, The Phantom Menace, 1999, Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins, 2005, and Aslan in the Chronicles of Narnia Trilogy, 2005 to 2010. Neeson acted in films such as the historical drama Gangs of New York, 2002, the romantic comedy Love Actually, 2003, the biographical drama Kinsey, 2004, the erotic thriller Chloe, 2009, the religious drama Silence, 2016, the fantasy film A Monster Calls, 2016, the crime thriller Widows, 2018, the anthology film The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, 2018, and the romantic drama Ordinary Love, 2019. Beginning in 2008, Neeson cemented himself as an action star with the action thriller series Taken, 2008 to 2014, The A-Team, 2010, The Grey, 2011, Wrath of the Titans, 2012, A Walk Among the Tombstones, 2014, and Cold Pursuit, 2019. He is known for his collaborations in the genre with the director Jaume Collet-Serra and starred in 4 of his films, Unknown, 2011, Non-Stop, 2014, Run All Night, 2015, and The Commuter, 2018. On stage, Neeson joined the Lyric Players Theatre in Belfast in 1976 for 2 years. On Broadway he earned 2 Tony Award for Best Actor in a Play nominations for his performances as Matt Burke in the revival of Eugene O'Neill's Anna Christie, 1992, and John Proctor in the Arthur Miller revival of The Crucible, 2002. He portrayed Oscar Wilde in David Hare's The Judas Kiss, 1998. Early life. William John Neeson was born on June 7, 1952 in Ballymena, County Antrim, Northern Ireland. 7. The son of primary school caretaker Bernard Barney Neeson and cook Catherine Kitty Neeson, née Brown. 8. His mother was born and raised in Waterford in the southeast of Ireland. 9. Brought up Catholic. 10. He was named Liam after a local priest. 11. He has 3 sisters, Elizabeth, Bernadette, and Rosaline. 12. He attended St. Patrick's College, Ballymena, from 1963 to 1967, and later recalled that his love of drama began there. 13. He said that growing up as a Catholic in a predominantly Protestant town made him cautious. 14. And once said he felt like a second-class citizen there. 15. But has also said he was never made to feel inferior or even different at the town's predominantly Protestant technical college. 16. It would be colorful to imagine I had a rebellious, uproarious Irish background, he has said, but the facts were much greater. Irish, yes. But all that nationalistic stuff, crying into your Guinness and singing rebel songs, that was never my scene. 17. He has described himself as out of touch with the politics and history of Northern Ireland until becoming aware of protests by fellow students after Bloody Sunday, a massacre in Derry in 1972 during the Troubles, which encouraged him to learn more local history. 1618 In a 2009 interview, he said, "I never stopped thinking about the Troubles. I've known guys and girls who have been perpetrators of violence and victims. Protestants and Catholics. It's part of my DNA. 19. At age 9, Neeson began boxing lessons at the All Saints Youth Club, and went on to win a number of regional titles before quitting at 17. 20. He acted in school productions during his teens. 21. His interest in acting and decision to become an actor were also influenced by Ian Paisley, founder of the Democratic Unionist Party, DUP, into whose Free Presbyterian Church of Ulster he sneaked. He said, "Paisley had a magnificent presence and it was incredible to watch him just Bible thumping away. It was acting, but it was also great acting and stirring too." 22. In 1971, he joined a physics and computer science course at Queen's University Belfast before leaving to work for the Guinness Brewery. 23. At Queen's, he discovered a talent for football and was spotted by Sean Thomas at Bohemian FC. There was a club trial in Dublin and Neeson played one game as a substitute against Shamrock Rovers FC, but was not offered a contract. 24. Career. 1976 to 1993, rise to prominence. After leaving university, Neeson returned to Ballymena, where he worked in a variety of casual jobs, such as a forklift operator at Guinness and a lorry driver. 25-26. He also attended teacher training college for 2 years in Newcastle upon Tyne before again returning to his hometown. In 1976, he joined the Lyric Players Theatre in Belfast, where he performed for 2 years. He got his first film experience in 1977, playing Jesus Christ and the Evangelist in the religious film Pilgrim's Progress, 1978. He moved to Dublin in 1978, when he was offered a part in Ron Hutchinson's Says He, a drama about the Troubles, at the Project Arts Centre. He acted in several other project productions and joined the Abbey Theatre, the National Theatre of Ireland. 27. In 1980, he performed with Stephen Aurier, Ray McAnally, and Mick Lally, playing Dolty in Brian Friel's play Translations, the first production of Friel's and Reesfield Day Theatre Company, first presented in the Guildhall in Derry on September 23, 1980. 28. In 1980, filmmaker John Boorman saw him on stage as Lenny Small in Of Mice and Men and offered him the role of Sir Gawain in the Arthurian film Excalibur. After the role, Neeson moved to London, where he continued working on stage and in small-budget films and television. He lived with actress Helen Mirren, whom he met working on Excalibur. 29. Between 1982 and 1987, he starred in 5 films, most notably with Mel Gibson and Anthony Hopkins in 1984's The Bounty, and Robert De Niro and Jeremy Irons in 1980's IXS The Mission. Neeson guest starred in the 3rd season of the television series Miami Vice in 1986, and moved to Hollywood the next year to take higher profile roles. 29. He starred with Cher and Dennis Quaid in Suspect, which brought him critical acclaim. In 1988, he appeared with Clint Eastwood in the 5th Dirty Harry film, The Deadpool, as Peter Swan, a horror film director. In 1990, he had a starring role in Sam Raimi's Darkman. Although the film was successful, Neeson's subsequent years did not bring him the same recognition. He also starred in the eponymous role for the film Ethan Frome, 1993. 1993 to 2000, breakthrough and acclaim. Steven Spielberg offered Neeson the role of Oskar Schindler in his Holocaust film Schindler's List 30 after seeing him in Anna Christie on Broadway. Kevin Costner, Mel Gibson, and Warren Beatty had all expressed interest in the part. 31-32 Beatty even auditioned 31 but Neeson was cast in December 1992. 32 He had read Keneally's book and concluded that his character enjoyed Fukin sick with the Nazis. In Keneally's book, it says he was regarded as a kind of a buffoon by them. If the Nazis were New Yorkers, he was from Arkansas. They don't quite take him seriously, and he used that to full effect. 33. His critically acclaimed performance earned him a nomination for a Best Actor Oscar and helped the film earn Best Picture of 1993. He also received BAFTA and Golden Globes nominations for the performance. In 1993, Neeson made his Broadway debut playing Matt Burke in the revival of the Eugene O'Neill play Anna Christie, starring opposite his Ellis Island co-star and future wife Natasha Richardson. For his performance, he was nominated for the Tony Award for Best Actor in a Play. 34 The following year, they also worked together in Nell, 1994, starring Jodie Foster. He then took leading roles in several period piece drama films, including playing the lead role of Rob Roy McGregor in the historical drama Rob Roy, 1995, opposite Jessica Lange, Brian Cox, and Tim Roth. Critic Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times praised his ability to be a leading man, writing, "Neeson, tall and grand, makes an effortless hero as Rob Roy." 35. The following year, he acted in Neil Jordan's historical drama Michael Collins, 1996, alongside Julia Roberts and Alan Rickman. Neeson portrayed the title role as the Irish revolutionary leading the fight for Irish independence. The film premiered at the Venice Film Festival, where it received the Golden Lion, with Neeson earning the Volpe Cup for Best Actor. 36. He later earned nominations for the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Motion Picture Drama. 37. Todd McCarthy of Variety praised his performance, writing, "Neeson is a compulsive dynamo as Collins, with the actor seizing his part with a passion and boldness utterly in keeping with the character's approach to life and his cause." 38. Neeson portrayed Jean Valjean in the 1998 adaptation of Victor Hugo's Les Miserables, directed by Billy August. He starred alongside Uma Thurman, Jeffrey Rush, and Claire Danes. Writing of Neeson's performance, Janet Maslin of the New York Times wrote, "He plays the role with the sure physical authority and profound decency that are fundamental to Valjean's character," adding, "With a first-rate cast and a venerable storytelling style, it fluently condenses Victor Hugo's epic novel and retrieves some of its suspenseful momentum." 39. That same year, he returned to the stage in the David Hare play The Judas Kiss, 1998, portraying Oscar Wilde, which ran at both the Almeida Theatre in the West End and the Broadhurst Theatre on Broadway. 40. He acted alongside Tom Hollander and Peter Capaldi. 41. In 1999, he acted in the supernatural horror film The Haunting, 1999, opposite Catherine Zeta-Jones. 1999 to 2007, blockbuster roles. Wax figures of Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn fighting Darth Maul in Star Wars, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. In 1999, Neeson starred as Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn in Star Wars, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Director George Lucas cast Neeson because he considered him a master actor, who the other actors will look up to, who has got the qualities of strength that the character demands. 42. As the first Star Wars film to be released in 16 years, it was surrounded by media anticipation. Despite mixed reviews from critics and fans, 43, the film was a box office success. 44. Neeson's performance as Qui-Gon received positive reviews, 45, 46, and a Saturn Award nomination. A stock recording of his voice from The Phantom Menace can be heard during a scene in Star Wars, Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, 2002. 47. Neeson was later reported to be appearing in Star Wars, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, 2005, 48, but ultimately did not. In the animated television series Star Wars, The Clone Wars, 2008-20, he voiced Qui-Gon in 2 episodes of the 3rd season and 1 episode of the 6th season. 47. And he also made a voice cameo as Qui-Gon in Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, 2019. 49. Neeson appeared as Qui-Gon in the final episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi, 2022, appearing as a Force ghost to Obi-Wan, in an uncredited cameo, marking his first live-action portrayal of Qui-Gon since The Phantom Menace. He later voiced Qui-Gon again for an episode of the animated Star Wars, Tales of the Jedi, 2022. Neeson narrated the 2001 documentary's Journey into Amazing Caves, a short film about 2 scientists who travel around the world to search for material for potential cures, and the Endurance, Shackleton's legendary Antarctic adventure. The latter won awards at a number of film festivals, including Best Documentary from both the Chicago Film Critics Association and the National Board of Review. Neeson returned to Broadway in the revival of the Arthur Miller play The Crucible, acting opposite Laura Linney. For his performance as John Proctor, he received a nomination for the Tony Award for Best Actor in a Play. 50 Charles Isherwood of Variety praised Neeson, writing, "In his thoughtful performance as Proctor, the effortlessly charismatic Neeson subtly delineates a man's moral evolution as Proctor moves from casual scorn for the proceedings to outrage to soul-stricken despair," adding, "Perhaps the finest aspect of Neeson's performance is its admirable restraint." 51 That same year Neeson acted with Harrison Ford in Kathryn Bigelow's 2002 submarine thriller K-19, The Widowmaker, as Captain Mikhail Polinin. He was also in the cast of Martin Scorsese's historical drama Gangs of New York with Daniel Day-Lewis, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Cameron Diaz. 52. In 2003, he played a recently widowed writer in Richard Kiddis's romantic comedy ensemble Love Actually, 2003, acting alongside Hugh Grant, Colin Firth, Emma Thompson, Alan Rickman, and Laura Linney. 53 The film was a commercial success and has since become a cult classic and holiday favorite. 54 55 56 The following year, he portrayed Alfred Kinsey in the biographical drama Kinsey, reuniting with Laura Linney, Peter Sarsgaard, and John Lithgow. 57 Neeson received a nomination for the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Motion Picture Drama, losing to Leonardo DiCaprio for The Aviator, 2004. 58 That year, Neeson hosted an episode of the NBC sketch show Saturday Night Live. He starred as a redneck trucker, Marlon Weaver, in an Appalachian emergency room sketch, and as a hippie in a one-off sketch about two stoners, the other played by Amy Poehler, who attempt to borrow a police dog to find their lost stash of marijuana. Despite vowing not to play any Irish stereotypes, Neeson did play an Irish man named Lorcan McCardle in the home makeover show parody You Call This a House, Do Yat? 59. Neeson, Left, and Ralph Fiennes at a U2 concert in Madison Square Garden, October 2005. In 2005, Neeson took multiple roles in mainstream blockbuster films. He portrayed Godfrey of Ibelin in Ridley Scott's epic adventure Kingdom of Heaven, Ra's al Ghul, one of the main villains in Christopher Nolan's action film Batman Begins 60, and Father Bernard in Neil Jordan's adaptation of Patrick McCabe's novel Breakfast on Pluto. 61 That same year, he replaced Brian Cox, playing Aslan the Lion in the fantasy adventure film The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, 2005, an adaptation of the C.S. Lewis book of the same name. 62-63 In The Simpsons episode, The Father, the Son, and the Holy Guest Star, 2005, he voiced the kindly priest who, briefly, converts Bart and Homer to Catholicism. 64. In 2007, he starred in the American Civil War epic Seraphim Falls. Neeson voiced the main character's father, James, in the video game Fallout 3. 65 Executive producer Todd Howard said, "This role was written with Liam in mind, and provides the dramatic tone for the entire game." 66 Fallout 3, the third game in the Fallout series, was extremely well received by critics and shipped 4.7 million copies by the end of 2008, the year it was released. 67 In the director's commentary of the 2007 Transformers DVD, Michael Bay said he had told the animators to seek inspiration from Neeson in creating Optimus Prime's body language. Neeson appeared as Alistair Little in the BBC Northern Ireland/Big Fish Films television drama, 5 Minutes of Heaven, which tells the true story of a young Protestant man convicted of murdering a Catholic boy during the Troubles. 68. 2008, present, action stardom. Neeson in 2008. In 2008, Neeson starred in the action film Taken, a French-produced film also starring Famke Janssen and Maggie Grace, based on a script by Luc Besson and Robert Mark Kamen and directed by Pierre Morel. Neeson plays a retired CIA operative from the Elite Special Activities Division who sets about tracking down his teenage daughter after she is kidnapped. Taken was a worldwide box office hit, grossing $223.9 million worldwide, making almost $200 million more than its production budget. Neeson has said in interviews that he believed that Taken had put some people off the idea of actually traveling to Europe. 69 Taken brought Neeson back into the center of the public eye and resulted in his being cast in many more big-budget Hollywood movies. That year, he also narrated the documentary Black Holes, The Other Side of Infinity, and again lent his voice to Aslan in the Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian, 2008. 70 He also provided a voice for Hayao Miyazaki's anime film Ponyo on the Cliff by the Sea, which received an August 2009 release. 71. In 2010, Neeson played Zeus in the remake of the 1981 film, Clash of the Titans. The film was a huge box office hit, grossing $475 million worldwide. 72 Neeson also starred in Adam Egoyan's erotic thriller, Chloe, theatrically released by Sony Pictures Classics on March 26, 2010. Chloe had enjoyed commercial success and became the Canadian director's biggest money maker ever. 73 Later the same year, he played John Hannibal Smith in the spin-off movie from the television series The A-Team. 74-75 Neeson voiced Aslan once more in the 2010 sequel The Chronicles of Narnia, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. That same year, he made a guest star appearance on the Showtime series The Big Sea with Laura Linney. 76 In 2011, Neeson starred in the action thriller Unknown, a German-British-American co-production of a French book filmed in Berlin in early 2010, and directed by Jaume Collet-Serra. This film led to a collaboration between Neeson and Collet-Serra, as director or producer, on a series of similar action films including Non-Stop, 2014, Run All Night, 2015, The Commuter, 2018, and Retribution, 2023. Neeson reunited with Steven Spielberg with plans to star as Abraham Lincoln in the 2012 film Lincoln, based on the book Team of Rivals by Doris Kearns Goodwin. 77 In preparation for the role, Neeson visited the District of Columbia and Springfield, Illinois, where Lincoln lived before being elected, and read Lincoln's personal letters. 78 Neeson eventually declined the role, claiming he was past his sell date and had grown too old for the role, and was replaced by Daniel Day-Lewis, who won his third Academy Award for Best Actor for playing Lincoln. 79. Liam Neeson, Deauville Film Festival, 2012. In 2011, he played himself in BBC Two series Life's Too Short starring Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Warwick Davis. 80 In late 2011, Neeson was cast to play the lead character, a journalist, in a new album recording and arena production of Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. He replaced Richard Burton, who had posthumously appeared in the arena production through CGI animation. Neeson did not physically appear on the stage, instead playing the role through the use of 3D holography. In 2012, Neeson starred in Joe Carnahan's The Grey. The film received mostly positive reviews and Neeson's performance received critical acclaim. He also starred in Taken 2, 2012, a successful sequel to his 2008 blockbuster. 81 That year, he reprised the role of Ra's al Ghul in a cameo appearance in The Dark Knight Rises, 2012, the final film in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy. Dialogue from his role as Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins was featured in the first trailer for the film. Neeson had a supporting role as the henchman bad cop/good cop in the animated film The Lego Movie, 2014, which was a critical and commercial success. Neeson later played Bill Marx in the 2014 action film Non-Stop. The film was released on February 28, 2014. He also appeared, uncredited, as God in the BBC Two series Rev. Neeson starred in the 2014 film May Walk Among the Tombstones, an adaptation of the best-selling novel of the same name, in which he plays former cop Matthew Scudder, a detective hired to hunt the killers of a drug dealer's wife. That same year, he starred with Seth MacFarlane as an outlaw in the Western comedy film A Million Ways to Die in the West. 82 During Super Bowl 49, Supercell did a Clash of Clans commercial with Neeson playing the game as Angry Neeson 52 and vowing revenge on his opponent Big Buffet Boy 85 while waiting for his scone at a bakery. 83 The appearance was a parody of his role in Taken. Following the success of the Taken films, Neeson has become increasingly known as a star of action thriller films. 84 Besides the A-Team, Unknown, The Grey, Non-Stop, A Walk Among the Tombstones, Run All Night, The Commuter, and Retribution, other recent action films starring Neeson have included Cold Pursuit, 2019, Honest Thief, 2020, The Marksman, 2021, The Ice Road, 2021, followed by a 2025 sequel, Blacklight, 2022, Memory, 2022, In the Land of Saints and Sinners, 2023, and Absolution, 2024. In 2016, Neeson narrated the Route 1 three-part documentary on the Easter Rising, 1916. 85 Also in 2016, Neeson reunited with director Martin Scorsese on the drama Silence, starring alongside Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver. 86 That same year, he did the voice and motion capture for the monster in the Spanish film A Monster Calls. 87 In 2018, he acted in the Coen Brothers Western anthology film The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. 88 And the Steve McQueen crime thriller Widows, acting opposite Viola Davis. 89 He portrayed Mark Felt in Mark Felt, The Man Who Brought Down the White House, 2017, directed by Peter Landesman. 90 And Philip Marlowe in Marlowe, 2022, directed by Neil Jordan. 91 He acted in the romantic drama Ordinary Love, 2019, with Leslie Manville. 92 Better Source Needed and the biographical drama Wildcat starring Maya Hawke. 93 On television, he played Chief Constable Byers in Derry Girls, 2022, and portrayed a fictional version of himself in Atlanta, 2022. 94 95 In 2025, he starred as Frank Drebin Jr. in The Naked Gun, a departure from and reference to his career as an action star. 96. Activism. Neeson opposes what he sees as the unrestricted right to own firearms in the U.S. 97 And has made calls for gun control. 98 In January 2015, he repeated his views, calling U.S. gun laws a disgrace in an interview with Emirati newspaper Gulf News when replying to a question about the Charlie Hebdo shootings earlier that month. 99 In response, American gun manufacturer Para USA, which provided the prop weapons used by Neeson in the Taken film series, stated, "We will no longer provide firearms for use in films starring Liam Neeson and ask that our friends and partners in Hollywood refrain from associating our brand and products with his projects." 99. In 2014, Neeson protested against the anti-carriage horse campaign of New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio, who said he would outlaw horse-drawn carriages in Central Park once he took office. He wrote an opinion page published in the New York Times citing the carriage trade as a safe one for employees, horses, and tourists, and noted it was a livelihood for many immigrants. 100. Neeson narrated a video for Amnesty International in favor of the legalization of abortion in Ireland, which some conservative and pro-life commentators claimed was anti-Catholic. 101. Neeson was opposed to Brexit, stating in 2016 that it would be truly a shame to sacrifice all the progress that has been made by the peace process regarding border controls. 102. In September 2017, Neeson compared the U.S. presidency of Donald Trump to the Watergate scandal of Richard Nixon. Democracy works and no man, and certainly not the president, is above the law. He has to be accountable. 103. Personal life. Marriage and relationships. Neeson lived with actress Helen Mirren during the early 1980s. They met while working on Excalibur, 1981. Interviewed by James Lipton for Inside the Actors Studio, Neeson said Mirren was instrumental in his getting an agent. He dated Barbra Streisand for about 9 months between 1991 and 1992. 104. Neeson then met actress Natasha Richardson while performing in a revival of the play Anna Christie on Broadway in 1993. 105. They were married on July 3, 1994. 106. And had 2 sons together, Michael, born 1995, and Daniel, born 1996. 107. 108. In October 1998, they won £50,000, $85,370, in libel damages after the Daily Mirror wrongly claimed that their marriage was suffering. They donated the money to victims of the August 1998 OMAG bombing. 109. In August 2004, they purchased an estate in Millbrook, New York. 110. 111. 112. On March 18, 2009, Richardson died when she suffered a traumatic brain injury in a skiing accident at the Mont Tremblant Resort, northwest of Montreal. Neeson donated her organs following her death. 113. After Richardson's death, Neeson dated Freya St. Johnston for 2 years. He has not dated again since the split, stating in 2024 that he was past all of that. 114. Heritage and beliefs. Neeson holds Irish 115 and American citizenship, having been naturalized as an American citizen in 2009. 116. He primarily identifies as Irish. 117. 118. After taking up American citizenship, he was adamant he was not turning his back on his Irish roots. 119. In 2009, nearly 4 decades after he was an undergraduate in physics and computer science at Queen's University, Belfast, the university awarded him an honorary doctorate which was presented to him in New York by Vice-Chancellor Professor Peter Gregson. 120. In March 2011, he was appointed a Goodwill Ambassador for UNICEF. 121. He is a patron of Belfast-based charity and film festival Cinemagic, which helps young people get involved in the movie industry. 122. A heavy smoker earlier in his career, Neeson quit smoking in 2003 while working on Love Actually. When he took the role of Hannibal for the 2010 film adaptation of The A-Team, he had reservations about smoking cigars, a signature trait of the character, but agreed to do it for the film. 123. In June 2012, Neeson's publicist denied reports that Neeson was converting to Islam. Neeson has expressed an affection for the Adhan, the Islamic call to prayer, to which he grew accustomed while filming Taken 2 in Istanbul. By the 3rd week, it was like I couldn't live without it. It really became hypnotic and very moving for me in a very special way. Very beautiful. 124. He also expressed admiration for the spiritual exercises of Saint Ignatius of Loyola. 125. Neeson's mother, Kitty, died in June 2020. He was unable to return to his hometown for her funeral due to travel restrictions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. 126. Social views. Neeson is a long-term supporter of the need for more integrated education in Northern Ireland, that is, educating Catholics and Protestants together. In 2017, he said, "As Northern Ireland moves forward from division, who do we look to for a future we can share? Our children, so why do we continue to educate them apart? Different religions, different backgrounds, different schools. There is another way. Protestants and Catholics, other beliefs, and none, learning and working together every day." 127. He has praised schools where parents have voted to transform segregated schools into integrated schools, and fronted television advertisements to encourage more parents to integrate their children's schools. 128-129. Controversies. Neeson was criticized for his comments on Ireland's Late Late Show in January 2018, during which he described the Me Too movement as a witch hunt. 130 and cited Garrison Keillor's dismissal from Minnesota Public Radio as an example. 131. In February 2019, Neeson faced public and media controversy after a press junket interview he conducted with The Independent while promoting Cold Pursuit, a film about a father seeking revenge for his son's murder. 132-133 He said that he generated his character's primal anger by recounting an experience he had 40 years ago, in which a female friend of his had been raped by a stranger. After learning the attacker was a black man, Neeson said that he spent a week going up and down areas with a kosh, hoping some black bastard would come out of a pub and have a go so that he could kill him. In the interview, he also said he was ashamed of the experience and that the things he did and said were horrible. He said, "It's awful, but I did learn a lesson from it, when I eventually thought, what the fuck are you doing?" 134-135. In an appearance on Good Morning America, Neeson elaborated on his comments while denying being a racist, stating that he asked for physical attributes of the rapist other than his race and that he would have done the same if the rapist was a Scot or a Brit or a Lithuanian. 136 He also said that he had purposely gone into black areas of the city but that he did seek help and counseling from his friends and a priest after coming to his senses. He said that the lesson of his experience was to open up and to talk about these things, including toxic masculinity and the underlying racism and bigotry in both the US and Northern Ireland. The controversy following his comments led to cancellation of the red carpet event for the premiere of Cold Pursuit. 137-138 Neeson was publicly defended by Michelle Rodriguez. 139 Whoopi Goldberg. 140 John Barnes. 141 Trevor Noah. 142 and Ralph Fiennes. 143 Donald Glover later convinced him to appear in his FX series Atlanta episode New Jazz as a fictionalist version of himself, to examine the controversy. 144. Acting credits and accolades. Main articles, Liam Neeson filmography and list of awards and nominations received by Liam Neeson. In 2000, Neeson was offered the freedom of the town of Ballymena by the Ballymena Borough Council, but because of objections made by members of the Democratic Unionist Party regarding his comments that he had felt like a second-class citizen growing up as a Catholic in the town, he declined the award, citing tensions. 145 Following the controversy, Neeson wrote a letter to the council, stating, "I will always remain very proud of my upbringing in, and association with, the town and my country of birth, which I will continue to promote at every opportunity. Indeed, I regard the enduring support over the years from all sections of the community in Ballymena as being more than sufficient recognition for any success which I may have achieved as an actor." 146. Subsequently, on January 28, 2013, Neeson received the freedom of the borough from Ballymena Borough Council at a ceremony in the town. 146. Neeson was appointed Officer of the Order of the British Empire, OBE, by Queen Elizabeth II in her 2000 New Year Honours. 6. The American Ireland Fund honored Neeson with their Performing Arts Award for the great distinction he has brought to Ireland at their 2008 dinner gala in New York City. 147. In 2009, at a ceremony in New York, Neeson was awarded an honorary doctorate by Queen's University, Belfast. 148. On April 9, 2016, he was honored with the Outstanding Contribution to Cinema Award by the Irish Film and Television Academy, IFTA, at the Mansion House, Dublin, with Irish President Michael D. Higgins presenting the award. 149. In 2017, Neeson was listed by UK-based company Rictopia at number 74 in the list of 200 most influential philanthropists and social entrepreneurs worldwide. 151. In January 2018, he was awarded the Distinguished Service for the Irish Abroad Award by Irish President Michael D. Higgins, who described it as an award for Irish people abroad who are making a contribution to humanity. Margaret Grace Dennick, born September 21, 1983, is an American actress. Grace earned a Young Artist Award nomination in 2002 with her portrayal of 15-year-old murder victim Martha Moxley in the television movie Murder in Greenwich. In 2004, she was cast as Shannon Rutherford in the television series Lost, on which she was a main cast member for the first 2 seasons, winning a Screen Actors Guild Award shared with the ensemble cast. Leaving the series, Grace was keen to work more prominently in film. She appeared in the Jane Austen Book Club, 2007, and as Kim Mills in Taken in 2008. She reprised the role of Kim in Taken 2, 2012, and Taken 3, 2014. She played the lead role, Alice, in Malice in Wonderland, a modern take on Lewis Carroll's novel Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Grace reprised the role of Shannon in 2 more episodes of Lost, including the series finale. In 2013, she appeared in the 6th season of Californication as Faith, a groupie and a muse to the stars, who captures the eye of Hank Moody, played by David Duchovny. In 2018, she joined the cast of the series Fear the Walking Dead as journalist Althea Zugzikpir-Zygakai. Early life. Margaret Grace Dennick was born in Worthington, Ohio, to Valen, née Everett, and Fred Dennick, who ran a family jewelry business. 2. She attended Worthington Christian schools from kindergarten through 9th grade and briefly attended Thomas Worthington High School. 3. Where she began acting in school plays and community theater. 4. Including a 2000 Gallery Players production of The Crucible, at a local Jewish community center. 5. 6. As a child, Grace was a voracious reader and a self-described Shakespeare nerd. 7. Telling the Los Angeles Times that at age 13, she was really into Jane Austen, kind of like how some kids are into Star Trek. 7. Career. Grace acquired an agent within a week of relocating to Los Angeles and enrolled in acting classes. 6. She landed her first role in Rachel's Room, a 2001 web-based video series about the affairs inside a teenage girl's bedroom that was created by Dawson's Creek executive producer Paul Stupin. 8. Her next role was on the 2002 television series Septuplets, which was cancelled before the first episode had aired. 2. Her breakout role was on 2002's television movie Murder in Greenwich, based on the true story of 15-year-old Martha Moxley's murder. She was nominated for a Young Artist Award for her portrayal of Moxley in the Best Performance in a TV Movie, Miniseries, or Special, Leading Young Actress category. 9. She went on to feature in minor roles on the television series CSI, Miami, The Lion's Den, Miracles, Like Family, Cold Case, and Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, and the films 12 Mile Road and Creature Unknown. Grace at the New York premiere of Won't Back Down in September 2012. In mid-2004, Grace's agent sent her the script for the pilot episode of Lost. She was given the role of Shannon Rutherford after a successful audition. 2. She was nominated in 2005 for a Teen Choice Award for Choice TV Breakout Performance, Female, for her role on Lost. 10. She lived in Hawaii during the filming of the show's first season, and signed on to star in The Fog, a 2005 remake of the 1980 horror film, as a character originally played by Jamie Lee Curtis. 11. Though the filming of Lost was supposed to have ended before The Fog began, the productions coincided due to Lost's extended season finale 4, and Grace flew between the 2 sets, on the Hawaiian island of Oahu and on Bowen Island in British Columbia. 12. After ranking at number 27 on Maxim's Hot 100 list of 2005-13, she returned for Lost's second season. Her character was killed in the season's 8th episode, Collision, when the series writers began to feel that the character's story avenues were limited. Executive producer Carlton Cuse said that Grace's departure from the show was sort of a win-win, as she was eager to enter a full-time career in film. 14. After leaving the series, She nevertheless joined the other principal Lost cast members of Season 2 on stage at the 12th Screen Actors Guild Awards, where Lost won the award for Outstanding Performance by an Ensemble in a Drama Series. 15. Variety reported in May 2005 that Grace was in negotiations to play X-Men character Kitty Pryde in the 2006 film X-Men: The Last Stand 16, but in July, auditions were reportedly being held for her replacement. 17. The role ultimately went to Elliot Page. 18. And Grace later revealed that she had never been contacted about the role and was surprised to read that she was up for the part in question. 19. Grace's next role was in the 2007 independent film Suburban Girl. 20. In 2007, she starred in the Jane Austen Book Club, based on Karen Joy Fowler's novel of the same name. She is a fan of Jane Austen and had read Fowler's novel when it was released in 2004. When she was given the film's script, she met with the director Robin Swickard, with whom she says she geeked out, and was given the role of Allegra, an openly lesbian 20-year-old. 21. After the filming of the Jane Austen Book Club was completed, Grace briefly returned to Hawaii to shoot a guest spot on the Lost Season 3 episode Exposé. 21. She starred in the 2008 thriller film Taken with Liam Neeson, who was at the top of a list of male actors Grace wished to work with that she had written just 2 months before she was cast. 22. She played the lead in Simon Fellowes' 2009 Malice in Wonderland, a modern adaptation of Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. 23. In 2010, Grace starred in the drama Flying Lessons 24 and appeared in James Mangold's film Night and Day 25 as well as in Faster. 26. Grace's busy schedule prevented her from returning as Shannon in LAX, the season premiere for Lost's 6th and final season 27, but she did return for the series finale The End. 28. In September 2010, it was revealed that Grace was chosen to play Irina in the Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Part 2. 29. In December 2012, it was announced Grace would be making her Broadway debut in Picnic. The play opened for previews on December 14th, running at the American Airlines Theater. 30. She also made her first appearance as a guest star in the Showtime series Californication in January 2013, in which she plays a groupie and muse to the rock and roll world as well as the personal interest of Hank Moody. In 2018, she joined the cast of Fear the Walking Dead as Althea, a journalist. Personal life and public image. While still working on Lost, Grace and Ian Somerhalder adopted a feral cat named Rue, which they found literally dying in the jungle on the set. She said that the cat is now her travel buddy. 31. In February 2017, Grace became engaged to Brent Bushnell, the CEO of an entertainment company. 32-33. They were married on May 28, 2017. 34. The couple's first child, a son, was born in 2020. 35. The couple's second child, a daughter, was born in 2023. 36. The couple divorced in 2025. 37. Grace often credits her mother as her source of inspiration. When asked about her closest friend, she said that she and her mother were more like sisters and that she is lucky to have an exceptionally cool mom. 38. She is a self-proclaimed Anglophile, having written to a pen pal in the Lake District from the age of 8 and admiring a number of English poets, including William Shakespeare. She first visited England when she was 13. 39. She calls herself very clumsy, claiming to trip over my legs all the time. 40. And was jokingly nicknamed Maggie Graceless by one of her former castmates. 41. Grace has been on the covers of many international fashion magazines, including Saturday Night, Femme Fatale, Vanidades, 7x7 and Organic Spa Magazine, Canada's Glow and Viva, UK's Cosmo Girl, Brazil's Caras, France's Tele 7 Jours, Singapore's Solitaire and Russia's Cosmopolitan Beauty. Raid Serbdzijané, born July 27, 1946, is a Croatian and Yugoslav actor, director, and musician. He started in theater, and became one of the best-known Yugoslav actors in the 1970s and 1980s, for his stage and film portrayals of imposing figures on both sides of the law. Of Serbian descent, during the breakup of Yugoslavia he moved abroad, where he became internationally known for his role as Boris the Blade in Snatch, 2000, and his supporting roles in such Hollywood films as The Saint, 1997, Eyes Wide Shut, 1999, Mission: Impossible 2, 2000, Batman Begins, 2005, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 1, 2010, etc. He also had a recurring role in Season 6 of TV action series 24. Srbcija is a four-time recipient of the Golden Arena for Best Actor, Croatia's highest filmmaking honors. He won the Critics' Award for Best Actor at the 51st Venice International Film Festival for his performance in Before the Rain, 1994. He also received the International Press Academy's Mary Pickford Award, an honorary recognition for outstanding artistic contribution to the entertainment industry in 2019. Early life. Rade Srbcija was born on July 27, 1946 in the village of Bunik in the Lika region of Croatia, then part of Yugoslavia. His parents were ethnic Serbs too who fought in the Second World War as partisans. Srbcija was raised as an atheist. 3. Career in Yugoslavia. In 1969, he graduated from the Academy of Dramatic Arts of the University of Zagreb, and then worked as a theater actor in the City Drama Theater Gavella and at the Croatian National Theater in Zagreb. While still a student, Srbcija started to play leading roles in films and theater productions. 5. His stage roles included Oedipus and Richard III. 6. His performance as Hamlet in 1974 in Dubrovnik catapulted him into stardom. 5. Srbcija landed his first major film role in 1968 in the Branko Ivanda-directed Gravitation. 7. 8. He had various notable roles in Yugoslav films, among others in Bravo Maestro, 1978, Journalist, 1979, Banovic Strahinja, 1981, Kiklop, 1982, and San Oruzai, 1986. 7. He was also among the leading actors in several TV series, such as in Prosjasi I Sinovi, 1971, U Registratori, 1976, and Putavanje u Vukjak, 1986. 7. Srbcija taught as a professor at the University of Zagreb from 1979 to 1981 and at the University of Novi Sad from 1987 to 1991. 7. Srbcija was one of the most well-known actors in Yugoslavia 9-10 in addition to being one of the most beloved. 11. Prior to leaving his home country, Srbcija had starred in over 40 films. 5. He was also one of the main supporters of the KPGT Yugoslav Theater Tena project initiated to unite the different Yugoslav state theaters into a single troupe. 12. Srbcija is a four-time recipient of the Golden Arena for Best Actor at the Pula Film Festival, in 1978 for Bravo Maestro 13 in 1986 for Evening Bells, Vesernja Zivana, 14 in 2010 for 72 Days, Sedamdazet I Dva Dana, 14 and Fishing and Fisherman's Conversations, 2020. 15. In 2000, Srbcija founded the Ulysses Theater with Borislav Bujasic on the Brijuni Islands. 1016 in a co-production between the Ulysses Theater and the National Theater in Belgrade, for his role in the 2019 adaptation of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Srbcija received the Zoran Radmilovic Award 17, the Croatian Theater Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role 18 and the Orlando Award. 19 The same year, he won his second Vladimir Nazar Award for Lifetime Achievement, Film Art. 20. International Career. Srbcija at the 2007 Toronto International Film Festival. In 1988, Srbcija appeared in two films that were released in the West, Hana's War and Manifesto. 5. As war broke out in Yugoslavia, Srbcija initially moved to Serbia in 1992, then Slovenia before eventually spending some time in London, England at the invitation of actor and friend Anthony Andrews. 5. While in London, Srbcija met with Macedonian-American director Milcho Manchevski, who cast him in his 1994 film Before the Rain. 10. The performance earned him a Critics' Award for Best Actor at the Venice Film Festival. 21. Srbcija has had supporting roles in Hollywood films such as Mission Impossible 2, Mighty Joe Young, The Saint, Eyes Wide Shut, Snatch, and Space Cowboys among others. 22. He is usually known for playing villains. 823. He had a cameo in Batman Begins. He was asked to reprise his cameo role in The Dark Knight, but declined. Citation needed. In 2001, he starred in a television production of Rodgers and Hammerstein's musical South Pacific as French plantation owner Émile Debec. 24. He also appeared in the BBC spy thriller show Spooks for one episode as a villain. In 2005 he played Captain Blake in Rupert Wainwright's remake of The Fog 25 and had a supporting role in the NBC science fiction series Surface. 26. In 2007 he played Athos Roussos in Jeremy Podesway's feature film adaptation of Anne Michael's novel Fugitive Pieces. 27. His performance in the Canadian film Fugitive Pieces, 2007, was nominated for a Genie Award 28 and Satellite Award for Best Supporting Actor. 29. He portrayed Dmitry Gradenko, a former Russian army general, on the 6th season of the hit Fox show 24, first aired in 2007. 30. He had a role in Shooter, 2007. In 2009 Srbcija was cast in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 1 as the famous foreign wand maker Gregorovich. 31. In 2014, Srbcija appeared in 6 episodes of Downton Abbey as Prince Karajan 32, a Russian exile and long-ago lover of the Dowager Countess Violet Crawley, portrayed by Dame Maggie Smith. He had a role in X-Men, First Class released in 2011, and in the 2012 film Taken 2. In 2019, Srbcija was awarded the International Press Academy's Mary Pickford Award, an honorary award for outstanding artistic contribution to the entertainment industry. 33. Other work. Srbcija is also known for his poetry readings and music. He has released 4 poetry books and 4 music albums. 34. He recorded the award-winning ballad Niut Vomsraku with Bosnian vocalist Kemal Montino. 35. While in London, Srbcija stayed at actress Vanessa Redgrave's residence and the two became friends. 5. With Redgrave, Srbcija founded the moving theatre company. 11. In 2017, Srbcija signed the Declaration on the Common Language of the Croats, Serbs, Bosniaks and Montenegrins. 36. Personal life. Srbcija married Ivanka Sarabak in 1969. 37. They have a son, film director Danilo, b. 1971, and a daughter, actress Lucija, b. 1973. 37. The couple divorced in 1987. 37. Srbcija met his second wife, Lenka Udovici, the sister of Serbian politician Kori Udovici, in Subotica in 1990 and they married in 1991. 38. With his second wife, he has 3 daughters, Nina, Vanja, and Mimi. The girls grew up in London during their early years, then moved to California due to their father's acting career. 10. Srbcija's parents left Vinkovci as Serb refugees for Belgrade in 1991, due to the Croatian War of Independence. 39. In 1992, while at a club in Belgrade, an intoxicated youth swore at Srbcija, calling him Serb traitor, then shot his gun in the air. 40. The youth himself was from Lika, as was Srbcija. 40. Srbcija took his wife and at the time, only daughter Nina, and left Zagreb and Belgrade, and settled in Ljubljana, Slovenia. 4139 Srbcija has called himself Yugo Nostalgic, 42 and in 2011, said that times were better in socialist Yugoslavia than now. 40 Srbcija owns property in London, Hollywood, California, Rijeka, and Zagreb. As of January 2011, he reportedly spends most of his time in Rijeka together with his wife Lenka. 39. Srbcija is a citizen of Croatia, North Macedonia, and Slovenia. Leland Jones Orser, born August 6, 1960, is an American actor, director, and writer. He is married to Jean Tripplehorn. He has appeared in numerous film and television roles since his debut in 1991, notably as Lucien Diobenko on the television series ER, 2004, 09, Father Romero on Ray Donovan, 2015-16, Richard Stratton on American Gigolo, 2022, and Sam Gilroy in the Taken film series, 2008-14. Early life. Orser was born in San Francisco, California on August 6, 1960. He graduated from Connecticut College in 1982, and studied acting at Drama Studio London. 2-3. Career. Orser began his career as a stage actor, and was nominated for a Helen Hayes Award for Best Supporting Actor for his performance in The Secret Rapture in 1991. 4-5. That same year, he made his television debut in 1991 on the series Gabriel's Fire, and went on to appear in programs such as The Golden Girls, Cheers, L.A. Law, The X-Files, NYPD Blue, The Pretender, Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, and CSI, Crime Scene Investigation. In 1999, he played Dr. Arthur Zeller in the Outer Limits episode Descent. He appeared in 1995, as a man who was involuntarily recruited to kill a prostitute. He was credited as Crazed Man in Massage Parlor. He played Larry Purvis in Alien Resurrection, 1997. He played the antagonist Richard Thompson in the Denzel Washington thriller The Bone Collector, 1999. In 2001, he had a role in Pearl Harbor as an injured officer saved by Kate Beckinsale's character. In 2003, he appeared as Wesley Owen Welch in the Marvel Comics superhero film Daredevil. Orser also appeared in various roles in the Star Trek franchise, among them playing a changeling posing as the Romulan Colonel Lubbock in the Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode The Die Is Cast, and in the episode Sanctuary playing a bit part as a member of the Skrean race. He also played a homicidal hologram in the Star Trek Voyager episode Revulsion. In Star Trek Enterprise, he played the character Loomis in the time travel episode Carpenter Street. 6. He played Ansel in the drama thriller film Faults. 7. From 2004, 09, he played Chief of Surgery Dr. Lucien Diobenko, a recurring character, on ER. Most recently he has appeared as Sam in all 3 of the Taken film series. In 2010, Orser made his directorial debut with the film Morning. Personal life. Orser married Roma Downey in 1987, they divorced in 1989. In 2000, he married Jean Tripplehorn, with whom he had co-starred in Peter Berg's dark comedy Very Bad Things. They have one son. Luke Timothy Grimes 1, born January 21, 1984, 2 is an American actor and musician. He is known for his role as Navy SEAL Mark Allen Lee in the film American Sniper. He played Christian Grey's older brother, Elliot, in the film 50 Shades of Grey, 2015, and its sequels, 50 Shades Darker, 2017, and 50 Shades Freed, 2018. He starred as Casey Dutton in the Paramount Network television series Yellowstone, 2018-2024, and in the CBS series Marshals, 2026. Early life and education. Grimes was born in Dayton, Ohio, the son of a Pentecostal pastor. 3. Grimes graduated from Dayton Christian High School in 2002. Citation needed. He moved to New York City to study acting at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Citation needed. Career. Grimes has appeared in All the Boys Love Mandy Lane, War Eagle, Arkansas, and Assassination of a High School President, which received a limited release in March 2009. He appeared in the ABC drama Brothers and Sisters, as Ryan Lafferty, the illegitimate son of William Walker, patriarch of the show's family. Beginning with season 4, he became a series regular. 4. He starred in the 2010 FX movie pilot, Outlaw Country, with Haley Bennett and Mary Steenburgen. Grimes played a cowboy named Eli Larkin. 5. The series was not picked up by FX, but the pilot aired on August 23, 2012 as a television movie. In 2012, he appeared in the Liam Neeson thriller Taken 2 as Neeson's daughter's boyfriend. 6. Grimes portrayed vampire James Kent in True Blood for 6 episodes during the show's 6th season, but later left the show and was replaced by Nathan Parsons. Reports, confirmed by BuzzFeed 7, indicated that he quit because he refused to participate in same-sex kissing or sex scenes or to play a character that was attracted to men. 8-9 Grimes's publicists stated that he departed to pursue other opportunities. 9-10 Grimes played United States Navy SEAL Mark Lee, who was killed in action in 2006, in American Sniper, 2014. He played Christian Grey's brother, Elliot, in the film 50 Shades of Grey, 2015, and its sequels, 50 Shades Darker, 2017, and 50 Shades Freed, 2018. 11 Grimes played Todd Belkin in Freeheld, 2015. From 2018 to 2024, he starred alongside Kevin Costner in the Paramount Network drama series Yellowstone in the role of Casey Dutton. Personal life. Grimes married Brazilian model Bianca Rodrigues Grimes in November 2019, and the couple had their first child, a son, Rigel Randolph Grimes, in 2024. 12-13 He moved with his family to the Bitterroot Valley of southwestern Montana in 2020. 14. Music. In January 2024, Grimes released Burn, live from Nashville on Spotify. 15. On March 8, 2024, Grimes released his self-titled debut album, Luke Grimes. 16. On April 3, 2026, Grimes released his second album, Red Bird. The song Haunted was featured on episode 1 of Marshall's. Luke Timothy Grimes I, born January 21, 1984, II is an American actor and musician. He is known for his role as Navy SEAL Mark Allen Lee in the film American Sniper. He played Christian Grey's older brother, Elliot, in the film 50 Shades of Grey, 2015, and its sequels, 50 Shades Darker, 2017, and 50 Shades Freed, 2018. He starred as Casey Dutton in the Paramount Network television series Yellowstone, 2018 to 2024, and in the CBS series Marshals, 2026. Early life and education. Grimes was born in Dayton, Ohio, the son of a Pentecostal pastor. 3 Grimes graduated from Dayton Christian High School in 2002. Citation needed. He moved to New York City to study acting at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Citation needed. Career. Grimes has appeared in All the Boys Love Mandy Lane, War Eagle, Arkansas, and Assassination of a High School President, which received a limited release in March 2009. He appeared in the ABC drama Brothers and Sisters, as Ryan Lafferty, the illegitimate son of William Walker, patriarch of the show's family. Beginning with season 4, he became a series regular. 4. He starred in the 2010 FX movie pilot, Outlaw Country, with Haley Bennett and Mary Steenburgen. Grimes played a cowboy named Eli Larkin. 5. The series was not picked up by FX, but the pilot aired on August 23, 2012 as a television movie. In 2012, he appeared in the Liam Neeson thriller Taken 2 as Neeson's daughter's boyfriend. 6. Grimes portrayed vampire James Kent in True Blood for 6 episodes during the show's 6th season, but later left the show and was replaced by Nathan Parsons. Reports, confirmed by BuzzFeed 7 indicated that he quit because he refused to participate in same-sex kissing or sex scenes or to play a character that was attracted to men. 8-9 Grimes's publicist stated that he departed to pursue other opportunities. 9-10 Grimes played United States Navy SEAL Mark Lee, who was killed in action in 2006, in American Sniper, 2014. He played Christian Grey's brother, Elliot, in the film 50 Shades of Grey, 2015, and its sequels, 50 Shades Darker, 2017, and 50 Shades Freed, 2018. 11 Grimes played Todd Belkin in Freeheld, 2015. From 2018 to 2024, he starred alongside Kevin Costner in the Paramount Network drama series Yellowstone in the role of Casey Dutton. Personal life. Grimes married Brazilian model Bianca Rodrigues Grimes in November 2019, and the couple had their first child, a son, Rigel Randolph Grimes, in 2024. 12-13 He moved with his family to the Bitterroot Valley of southwestern Montana in 2020. 14. Music. In January 2024, Grimes released Burn, live from Nashville on Spotify. 15. On March 8, 2024, Grimes released his self-titled debut album, Luke Grimes. 16. On April 3, 2026, Grimes released his second album, Red Bird. The song Haunted was featured on episode 1 of Marshall's. Cavort Malikian, born June 2, 1943, is an Armenian English actor and teacher. 1. He is known for his roles as Kazim in the film Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, 1989, Max Papandreou in the television sitcom Mind Your Language, 1977 to 1979, Rady in the film Flight of the Phoenix, 2004, and Parvis in Payatad, Abdulhamid, 2017. Early life. Malikian was born to Armenian parents in Diyarbakir, Turkey. When he was 10 years old, an archbishop decided to open a religious seminary in Üsküdar, Istanbul, with the intention of taking in the poor children of Armenian parents from various parts of Turkey and bringing them up as priests. Malikian was questioned by a priest who wanted to determine whether or not he was a good candidate for the priesthood. His father told him to go to the seminary because he could not afford to give him an education due to financial problems. Though Malikian was worried because he had no friends in Istanbul and had to leave his parents behind, he went to the city to become a priest. Malikian was sent to the Karagozian orphanage in Sicily, where he spent 2 years before attending the religious seminary in Üsküdar. In the seminary, there was a small stage where the students acted in Turkish and Armenian. When he was 16, an Anglican priest was invited to the school to teach them English. He was an Oxford graduate who wrote history books. The man was also fond of acting and had prepared Richard III by Shakespeare in English, wherein Malikian played Richard. The priest must have liked Malikian's acting, because he told the headmaster of the school that Malikian should become an actor rather than a priest. The patriarch asked Malikian his opinion on the matter, but Malikian was unsure because of financial concerns. Father Harding, a British priest, found him a scholarship in Britain. 1. Malikian graduated from the Sırp HAC Armenian High School II in Istanbul, then moved to London in 1963 for acting education. At the drama school Rose Bruford College III he received diplomas for acting and teaching. Career. Malikian made his first television appearance in an episode of the historical drama The Portrait of a Lady in 1968, playing the role of servant. Throughout the last years of the 1960s Malikian made other numerous television appearances including Doctor Who, The Saint, and The Avengers. Malikian got his big break in the British film The Man Who Haunted Himself in 1970, starring Roger Moore, in which Malikian played Luigi the butler of the Pelham family. In 1977, Malikian embarked on his most notable role on television, in the ITV sitcom Mind Your Language, which was about an adult education center and followed the story to the English as a foreign language class. In the series, Molly Keane played Maximilian, Max, Papandreou, a Greek shipping worker from Athens. The show was very successful and at its height attracted 18 million viewers. For Molly Keane appeared in 29 episodes from 1977 to the series' conclusion in 1979. Although the series was briefly revived in 1986, he did not make any appearances in it. Malekyan's next big film role came in the 1978 prison film Midnight Express, in which he played the part of the prosecutor at Billy Hayes' trial. The film was directed by Alan Parker and starred Brad Davis, Irene Miracle, and Bo Hopkins. The film was very popular and went on to win 2 Academy Awards. His performance did not go unnoticed. One director who especially noticed him was Steven Spielberg. Molly Keane tried to audition for the part of Salah in Raiders of the Lost Ark, but was prevented from doing so by heavy traffic. In 1988, Spielberg cast Molly Keane in the Indiana Jones series, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, in which he played Qasim, the leader of the Brotherhood of the Cruciform Sword, an organization that protects the Holy Grail. Throughout the 1990s, Molly Keane appeared in various television programs, including the sitcom Birds of a Feather and The Final Cut. In 2002, he featured alongside Steven Seagal in the American action film, Belly of the Beast, but the film was not well received by the critics. 2 years later, Molly Keane appeared in the 2004 remake of the 1965 film of the same name, Flight of the Phoenix, in which he played Rady. The film received mixed reviews and performed poorly at the box office. During his career, Molly Keane has performed in a number of Shakespeare plays, including Henry IV, Part 1, and Henry IV, Part 2 at the Shakespeare Globe Theatre in 2010. Molly Keane also played in a number of roles in the Royal Shakespeare Company production, Arabian Nights, December 2009 to January 2010, at the Courtyard Theatre, Stratford-upon-Avon, Warwickshire. Molly Keane appeared as Inspector Dermaz in the 2012 action thriller film Taken 2, which was a sequel of the highly successful 2008 film. 2 years later, Molly Keane appeared in the epic biblical film Exodus, Gods and Kings, in which he played Jethro. The film was based on the Book of Exodus and was directed by Ridley Scott. The same year, he starred alongside Tahar Rahim and Simon Abkarian in the internationally co-produced drama film The Cut. In 2016, Molly Keane featured in the historical drama The Promise, which was set in the final years of the Ottoman Empire. Personal life. Molly Keane married Maida Kupalian in Kensington, London in 1965. They have a daughter and a son, Sevan, an artist based in Cyprus. Molly Keane also works as a teacher in Istanbul. 1. Taken 2 is a 2012 English-language French action thriller film directed by Olivier Megaton and starring Liam Neeson, Maggie Grace, Famke Janssen, Raid Serbdzija, Leland Orser, John Grise, D.B. Sweeney, and Luke Grimes. 4. It follows retired CIA officer Brian Mills as he ends up with his family in Istanbul, where he is kidnapped, along with his ex-wife, by the father of one of the men he killed while saving his daughter 2 years earlier. It is the sequel to the 2008 film Taken and the second installment in the Taken trilogy. Released on October 3, 2012 in France by EuropaCorp and October 5, 2012 in the United States by 20th Century Fox, the film grossed over $376 million at the box office, making it the highest-grossing installment of the trilogy, but received negative reviews from critics. A third film, Taken 3, was released on January 9, 2015. Plot. At the funeral of his son Marco and associates in Tropoj, Albanian mafia head and freelance terrorist Murad Hakha vows to seek vengeance on his son's killer. Traveling to Paris with his men, he interrogates and tortures ex-French DGSE agent turned corrupt National Police officer Jean-Claude Petrel, whose business card was found at the scene of Marco's death, but finds no information. He then bribes a corrupt police official for Petrel's files and deduces that Petrel's old friend, Brian Mills, is responsible and is vacationing in Istanbul. Meanwhile, Brian has just finished his 3-day security job for a wealthy Saudi Arabian sheikh in Istanbul and is surprised by his ex-wife, Lenore, and daughter, Kim, turning up to visit him. While going out for lunch with Lenore the next day, Brian spots Murad's men following them. He tells Lenore to run and tries to outrun the Albanians but finally surrenders when they capture Lenore. Realizing that Kim is also a target, Brian calls her at the hotel and tells her to hide in the closet to escape the kidnappers. She narrowly avoids capture when the kidnappers are forced to flee after they shoot 2 security guards. Regaining consciousness, Brian finds himself zip-tied to a pipe over his head in an empty basement. He uses a miniature cell phone hidden in his sock to contact Kim and instructs her to alert the American embassy. Instead, she convinces him to let her help. Opening her father's equipment case, Kim takes a grenade and detonates it on a nearby rooftop. The resulting sound allows Brian to instruct her on triangulating his location. The terrorists bring in Lenore, make a small incision in her neck, and hang her upside down to bleed out. As soon as they leave, Brian frees himself and then Lenore. He next has Kim detonate 2 more grenades to find his location and tells her to look for some steam through a chimney to guide her to his location. Kim tosses a gun down the chimney, which Brian uses to kill the guards holding him captive. He rescues Kim but watches Lenore get recaptured. Stealing a taxi, Brian and Kim pursue the kidnappers' van, and an SUV driven by one of the kidnappers' henchmen arrives to distract them. A chase and shootout ensue, alerting Turkish police, and ends when Brian manages to lure the SUV into the path of an oncoming train, taking it out. Leaving Kim at the American embassy, Brian uses his memory to find Murad's hideout. He rescues Lenore and pursues the surviving terrorists to a bathhouse, where he kills them. Confronting Murad, Brian offers to let him walk if he agrees to return home and cease his desire for revenge. When Murad agrees, Brian drops his gun and begins to leave, but Murad immediately reneges and tries to kill Brian. To Murad's horror, however, the weapon is unloaded, as Brian had removed the bullet, and Brian, knowing that Murad will never let go of his vendetta against him, ultimately kills Murad by impaling him on a sharp towel hook. 3 weeks later, at a diner in Los Angeles, the Mills family has milkshakes to celebrate Kim passing her driving test. To Brian's surprise, they are joined by Kim's boyfriend, Jamie, and she jokingly tells her father not to shoot this one. Cast: Liam Neeson as Brian Mills, Maggie Grace as Kimberly Kim Mills, Brian and Lenny's daughter, Famke Janssen as Lenore Lenny Mills St. John, Brian's former wife, Raid Serbdzija as Murad Hakha, Marco's dad who want to kill Brian for his son's dead, Leland Orser as Sam Gilroy, Brian's old friend, John Grise as Mark Casey, Brian's old friend, D.B. Sweeney as Bernie Harris, Brian's old friend, Luke Grimes as Jamie Conrad, Kim's boyfriend, Olivier Rabourdin as Jean-Claude Petrel, Kavork Malikian as Inspector Dermas, Louinel as Kim's driving instructor. Production. Filming took place throughout early 2012. Neeson and Grace shot their scenes in January in Los Angeles. Citation needed: the Istanbul scenes were shot in November 2011. 5 Some scenes were filmed during a week at the new film studios of the Site du Cinéma founded by Luc Besson in Saint-Denis in France. Citation needed. Taken 2 was screened on September 7, 2012 at the 38th Deauville American Film Festival. 11 It was theatrically released in more than 25 international markets, including North America, on October 5, 2012. 12 The film was released under the title of Takip, Istanbul in Turkey, Busca Implacable 2 in Brazil, Venganza, Konigzian Istanbul in Spain, Taken, La Vendetta in Italy and 2 in Russia. 13. Box office. Taken 2 grossed $139.9 million in North America and $236.3 million in other territories, which brings the film's worldwide total to $376.1 million against a budget of $45 million. 2. For its opening day in North America, the film topped the box office and earned $18.40 million, $1.5 million of which came from midnight showings. 12. In its opening weekend, Taken 2 grossed $49.5 million in North America, playing in 3,661 theaters, with a $13,525 per theater average and debuting in the number 1 spot, 2, setting a new record for the highest ever October opening in North America of a film rated PG-13-15, and earned about $55 million in other markets. 16. During its second weekend at the North American box office, the film dropped 55.8% from its first weekend and grossed $21.9 million while holding onto the number 1 spot. 17. The film grossed a total of $3,385,094 in the Philippines by its fifth week. 18. The biggest foreign markets being UK, France, Australia, and South Korea, where the film grossed $37.8 million, $24.4 million, $20.2 million and $15.5 million. 19. Reception. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds an approval rating of 22% based on 174 reviews and an average rating of 4.21/10. The site's consensus reads, Taken 2 is largely bereft of the kinetic thrills and surprises that made the original a hit. 20. On Metacritic, the film has a score of 45 out of 100, based on 35 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. 21 audiences polled by the market research firm CinemaScore gave the film a B+ grade on average, lower than the A earned by its predecessor. 16. Roger Ebert, of the Chicago Sun-Times, gave the film 3 stars out of 4, writing, Taken 2 is slick, professional action. The cast is uniformly capable and dead serious, and if you're buying what co-writer and producer Luc Besson is selling, he's not shortchanging you. 22. Kenneth Turan of the Los Angeles Times wrote, at a beefy 6'4", Liam Neeson certainly looks physically imposing, but it was the notion of casting someone who can actually act in an action hero role that was the counterintuitive concept that made both films. Taken 2 is more a remake than a sequel so successful. 23. Bernard Besser-Gleek of The Hollywood Reporter reviewed the film after its screening at Deauville, concluding, there's a touch of vigilante advocacy in the movie that will displease some, with Liam Neeson as a more gentlemanly version of the Charles Bronson of the Death Wish series, but clearly there's still a market for such fantasies. Moviegoers who like Taken and want more of the same will get precisely that. 24. John Anderson of the Wall Street Journal wrote that there is a blind adherence to formula evident in most of Taken 2. As they might say in the advertising department, it's an adrenaline-fueled thrill ride. But it could have been much more. 25. Lisa Schwartzbaum of Entertainment Weekly gave the film a C grade, writing, You know what happens in Taken 2, don't you? The same thing that happened 4 years ago in Taken, but different. But the same, and that Taken 2 is simultaneously silly, nasty, a lazy festival of stereotypes, and a cleverly made piece of merchandise, i.e.,